Hello everyone, I'm Meshwa Patel, a committee member of the Public Relations Committee at AIChE SVNIT. So today I will be conducting this cordial conversation and it gives me great pleasure to welcome Mr. Chaitanya Bhimrajka, who is currently working as a senior data analyst at Amazon. We are truly honored to have you with us here today, sir.
Yeah, I'm honored as well, Mishra. Thank you so much for inviting me. Yeah, and just a correction there. I'm a business analyst too, basically, like a senior level, but business analyst too at Amazon. So yes.
Thank you, sir. So, could you start by telling us a little about yourself and what a typical day looks like you at Amazon?
Yeah. So like you said, I'm a business analyst too at Amazon. I am working out of Bangalore, and yeah, it's pretty much fun to work for a company like this. My typical day at Amazon would look like, so I'm a business analyst, right? So let's say we have a lot of metrics that we look at. So we have to look at a lot of metrics that we are the owners of, and then we have to write a lot of SQL code. We have to write a lot of Python code. We have to solve a lot of problems. So let's say, for example, you have a metric problem, like what was the customer turnaround for the month of March? That's a very vague question, but yeah, just for an example. So we'll have to find out the metric for that in that sense, and then for a senior level like me, we will also have to come up with the questions of why the metric is behaving like it is behaving. For example, the revenue is going down. So why did the revenue go down in September, like the month of September? So something of that sort. So that, and then there are a lot of stakeholder conversations. So as a business analyst, you have like three places. There's a stakeholder, like a program manager or product manager. There is a tech team, and then there is you, a business analyst. So you are the owner of the metric. The product manager is the owner of the product, and the tech team is the owner of the tech that is under this, which is like going on. For example, you go to Amazon. There's a website, and then you click on some button. Right now, what is the clicks uh, per customer, something of that sort? So we are owner of the clicks per customer. The tech team is the owner of how the click should perform, and the product would tell that where the click exactly should be there. Just an example. So yeah, that is pretty much how it is. Like metrics, stakeholders, and reviews. Let's go.
Thank you for that overview, sir. So, moving on to the next question. So, what skills and analytical techniques or tools do you consider most essential for your work as a business analyst?
Yeah, I'll give this answer in two parts. So one is like the generic, which you would need everywhere, and one is typical to business analysis, right? Now the first part is the generic part. So the generic is one is like deep dive and understanding a problem or framing a problem. So you would so your company or wherever you're working, they would come up with a basic requirement for you as like I'll give you a CHES example that we want to get more footfall. Now, more footfall is a very vague question. Now, as a business analyst, we will have to define it that how do we get more footfall or what is the number exactly that we look at to get more footfall. So, is it like our one of our stalls are getting more people or something of that sort? So, one big thing that you have to look at is exactly defining the problem that you are solving. This you will get a lot of vague problems, but you have to define your problem yourself and then come up with the metrics that would judge that problem exactly, like would put it in numbers, because everything you will have to put in numbers. There's nothing like vibes are just in life. It's not in on paper, right? There's nothing, no vibes there. So one is definitely defining the problem, and second is deep diving into everything you have. So one thing that I see people not doing, or probably is my strength, is like I deep dive into the root of anything that there is, like the root of the problem. So what is the core level at what how the things are built? So for example, in a building, what is the cement that was used? That is like my strength. And as a tools that like for specific to business analysis, would be SQL for sure, 100%. Like at the top of the tier, one would be Excel. Python is a growing skill, not 100% required, but it's growing skill now. So I would say that it is important. And problem solving, of course. So yeah, that is pretty much it.
That was very insightful. It clearly highlights, the skills that truly matter in analytics.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to the next question. You began your career at a firm and progressed through multiple roles. So, how was your experience in a consulting firm different from the place you're working right now?
Right. So in a consulting firm, you are like I would say in a consulting firm, you are not directly working on a product. You are working with the product managers of the firm that you are working for. So, for example, I was working for a gaming firm in a fine. A fine is like a consulting firm, and I was working for a gaming firm in a fine, right? So there, I was just working on analysis. Whatever analysis they used to throw on me, I used to work on that analysis. So you get a lot of experience on how to do an analysis, or what are the numbers that you will have to get in for the analysis, or like how would you break down the numbers and so on. So you speed up your analysis process, you speed up your thinking process a lot. So there you learn a lot about analysis. But when you come to a product firm like Amazon or a big firm like Amazon, you are the owner of the metrics that are playing a role into getting the product bigger. So for example, like I give an example. These are not real life examples because I cannot give real life examples. But for example, customer turnaround. So let's say how that so for example, you are the owner of customer turnaround. So they would want to give you answers on why is this metric behaving as it is behaving. So that is a huge difference between a consulting firm and a product firm. That you own the metric there in the product firm, but in the consulting firm you speed up analysis process.
Thank you, sir. So, that comparison gave us a great perspective on how different work environments work. Now, coming to the next question, looking back at your undergraduate education, what aspects of your academic training helped you transition smoothly into analytics and business roles?
One is definitely mathematics. So make your mathematics very strong. Like it would help you everywhere. Like not exactly a Fourier's formula. It won't help you, but the way you think for mathematics, right, for breaking down a problem for mathematics, that would definitely help you everywhere, like statistics and all the things like those. So do get strong with numbers and how you look at numbers and like what a particular number is telling you. Like every number tells a story, is what I believe, right? So I got into the thing of what exactly the number is telling me. That is definitely one. And second is as an engineer, right? We all have this analytical thinking or like problem solving thinking. Like all of us are problem solvers as engineers. So that is definitely another one that a problem solving mind is definitely required for business analysis.
Great to see how academic actually plays a role in future.
Right.
Coming to
Yes.
the next question. So again, now beyond academics, how did
Mhm.
your involvement in student clubs, leadership roles, or events like mainly like AIChE, CHES shape your skills and career journey?
This one is a good one actually. So basically, AICH, like what you're working on, right? AICH and all that. This is like a simulation of a corporate world. So I would say that all the talks that you do with your professors or with the higher management of like I want to do this event or I want to make this happen. I want to do like so I want to make siphon happen and something of that sort. Like you start with the logistics of it, and then you solve the problem of why stop. We're not getting on the stores, we're not getting people, we're not getting this that. So that is definitely one big major role play of communicating with people, problem solving with people, because that is 70% of your corporate life. So interaction, getting comfortable with interacting actually, because I see a lot of people who have not been into student clubs or like have not been comfortable with people. They are very uncomfortable communicating. So communication plays a major role there, and like you get to know how you have to handle people, because that is a big part in corporate. Yeah.
Great to hear how campus environment contributed beyond academics. Now, coming to the next question.
Mhm.
So, what has been the most impactful project or any business problem you've worked on so far that significantly influenced your growth as an analyst?
So I would say that you would get a business problem every day. So there's no significant business problem. I said every problem is significant until it is bringing revenue, right? So that is what my belief is. Like if a thing is bringing revenue or if it is saving money, then it is impactful. And honestly, I cannot give you an example as well because those are company policies. But one thing that I can definitely give you that a project would help you if you are streamlining something for the for the company, or in fact any place you're working, right? Or if you're working for yourself also. So for example, there's a process and you make it repeatable, and if you streamline the process, that would definitely help you in growing for sure. So that is a big project, that not project exactly, but that is a big source of thinking that would help you in how to grow forward. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So, finally, I would like to, what advice would you give to students and early career professionals who aspire to build a career in business analytics and eventually move into, leadership roles like you?
Business analytics for specifically, I would say learn your SQL and learn your Excel a lot. Get into problem solving, learn numbers, how what numbers are telling what stories, and how do you break a number into telling the whole story, right? Get very comfortable with data because data is like a major part of your life. I mean, not just SQL, because I think today SQL can be easily written by AI, but get comfortable with reading data. So that is definitely one in terms of business analysis specific core, but also say yes to problems. I mean, do not run from problems. Like I see, like the real world examples, like I see, like people try to run from problems. So they're like, we don't want to, invest so much in corporate or something of that sort. Our piece of life is uh, breaking down or something of that sort. So I think that is a very bad way of thinking for me at least. So I don't run away from. I try not to run away from problems. I try to like tell me that, give me the problem, dude. I want to solve it. So that is definitely another one. Yeah.
Thank you for the valuable advice and for taking the time to guide and inspire us today.
Awesome.
So, thank you once again for such valuable insights and for inspiring us with your journey. If you found this session helpful, please do like, share, and subscribe to stay connected with more such alumni interactions. Thank you.